Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, Tabitha Odegaard. Always a pleasure to have you come into the studio with us as we have our connection show. We've been off for a couple of weeks. I had a little shoulder surgery and been trying to get over that, so I do apologize we haven't had any new shows for a couple of weeks, but we're back on track now. We'll continue to bring people in and talk about different things going on around the area. How you been doing?
I'm doing good. The weather is wonderful.
Oh, it's great. I tell you, not a good time to have shoulder surgery when I love to play golf. You know?
I know. All your friends and buddies are out there playing, and you're not able to participate.
They wave at me when I go by. You know, when I go check on them, they wave.
Yeah, it's not going to be forever. You're going to be held up. You can move it a little bit now.
It'll get to where I can do better. But anyway, we do appreciate you joining us on the show today. And you've been doing okay out the fitness club and barbershop and all the stuff you do.
Just staying busy. Yeah,
busy
yeah. Classes are great and everything's good. I'm looking forward to summer and pulling it, and I've already got my skirt going and
getting ready to go.
Yes, I'm ready.
You know, it won't be long. You know, once we get through, and I think I was looking at the long-range forecast yesterday on the computer model, and it's showing nice weather pretty well through the rest of March.
I hope so.
And usually when you get through March and into the 1st of April, most of our winter, we might have a little cold spell around Easter, but most of the time you're pretty good to get into spring.
I'm ready for it.
See some of the
Bring it on.
daffodils are starting to come up a little bit. I noticed out there the other day. Stay with us. Be back on Connection in just a moment.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud. Harrison is a Health Mart town. Sam Alexander Pharmacy on the square downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hi, this is Jim Fitzgerald of Community First Bank, and we have a variety of home loan options that are sure to fit your financial needs. From 100% financing rural development loans to VA loans for veterans to FHA loans with low down payment options, your locally owned hometown bank has the right home loan for you. Community First Bank, where it's all about community. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first guest in the studio today has been with us numerous times, Ginger Milan from the Boone County Library. Thank you, Ginger, for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
You picked a great day to come in.
I did. I really did.
We didn't want to stay in here too long. We got to get outside.
No, absolutely.
What's going on with the library?
We have a lot of things coming up between now and the end of the month. First of all, we have a major program. It's March the 26th at 5 o'clock. We're having a guest speaker. Her name is Rachel Reynolds Luster, and we've been trying to get her at the library for 2 years. She's just so busy. She's a musician, but she's also a researcher, and finally we settled on next week because she is here every year for the Fiddlers Convention. So she'll be in our area anyway, and she is a folklorist, and she's done a tremendous amount of research on another folklorist, Mary Celestial Parler, who I think she died in the early 70s. I'm not sure about that. But Mary Celestial Parker is responsible for saving most of the folk music from the Ozarks, the really, really old songs. She went all over the countryside, and she helped set up the folklore archives at the University of Arkansas. She was a professor of English at the University of Arkansas. Wow. And so she was featured on a CBS program back in 1954 about her quest for these old folk tunes. You know, the folk songs from the Ozarks originated with the settlers who came here from the East Coast, but they originated from places like Scotland and Ireland.
Oh,
so
really?
they're really, really old tunes. And so Rachel Luster will be here to tell us all about that and give us some examples. And there's a lot of interest in folklore.
That is, you hear a lot of folk. Well, of course, Mountain View has always been known for. Is Mountain View? Is it kind of an area where maybe a lot of that started?
Yes.
Is that why it just kind of continued in that area?
Well, of course it's in the heart of the Ozarks,
right.
And there's a tradition of that there. But the thing that really spurred interest was the creation of the Ozark Folk Center.
Right.
And I'm really glad you brought up Mountain View because this is where Rachel Luster grew up. So she, I'm sure she grew up hearing all this. She currently lives in Missouri. She's working on a PhD in heritage studies. Her husband is in charge of the folklore department at Arkansas State University. Wow. So, this is what she does.
That's
the
thing.
And we're really excited to have her come.
Now, is this a free program?
Everything at the library is free.
Always at the library is free.
It's always free.
And that date is the 24th, is it?
It's the 26th.
26th.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the 26th. It's a Thursday evening.
Okay.
We'll have some refreshments. You can meet Rachel. I have communicated with her for 2 years and Facebook friended and all that, and I've never met her, so I'm really excited to feel like I already know her. But anyway,
that'll be
one of our library employees, Sean Horn, used to work for her and toured with her.
Okay.
So he's excited too.
Small world.
Got connected up there.
Oh yeah.
What else is going on?
Well, March is Music and Education Month, or Music Educators Month.
Okay.
And so last year we celebrated by having a school group come in and perform a little mini concert. And this year we have 3 school groups. Harrison High School Chamber Singers were going to be our first group, and we had snow, so they didn't get to come, and the library was closed. So our first performance will be Wednesday, the 18th, this coming Wednesday.
Okay.
It's the Bergman High School Guitar Ensemble.
Okay.
They were the group that came last year, and it was just incredible. We set them up in the lobby. There were about 15, 20 kids. They all had their own guitar. Barry Martindale is their director. And it's just a little mini concert, about 15 minutes long. Okay. So they're coming on the 18th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Friday, the 20th, last day before spring break, Lisa Dodson, who is the music teacher for Eagle Heights Elementary, she's bringing second and third graders at 1 o'clock on Friday. Yeah. And they're singing all songs about Arkansas.
Very good.
Aww.
And then we rescheduled the chamber singers. They're not going to make it for Music Educators Month, but they'll be there in April.
Very good.
So we're really excited about
That's
that.
Fun.
It's fun.
And it's good for the kids to get to come down and perform, in a public place like that.
It is.
Yeah, it's a big deal to them.
Especially the second and third graders. Now they'll get after it.
They will, and they will stand around the mezzanine. So the acoustics there are just phenomenal. And so our patrons, they may be coming in to check in a book or do research or use our computers, but they'll have a little.
They're going to get entertained.
They are.
Well,
they are.
That'll
They'll be serenaded.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What else is going on? You got
oh my goodness.
You got a whole list of
We
stuff here.
We do. Buffalo National River Partners, which if you are familiar with that group, they are phenomenal. The library has Friends of the Library. The Buffalo River has the Partners Group.
Right.
They do all kinds of things to help sustain and protect the Buffalo River.
Yeah.
In any way, once a month they have educational programs at our library, which we are thrilled that they do it at our library. And so next Tuesday, the 24th, Susan Young, who is the outreach coordinator for the Shiloh Museum of Ozark History, will be there to do a program on place names. How did Harrison, Arkansas get its name? How did Valley Springs get its name? Alpena, Lead Hill. She will do a program called From Bass to Zinc. Place names in Boone and Newton County.
That would be very interesting.
It will be
I'd
interesting.
like to know how some of these names were
originated. A lot of people think Harrison's named for William Henry Harrison, the president.
That wasn't it.
No, it was actually, I guess we'd call him a carpetbagger. He was a former Union general in the Civil War, moved to Harrison in the 1870s, and and laid out the town.
Wow.
So
that's the way it was named.
Yeah, it should be great.
I noticed on here you got from bass to zinc. I'd like bass. How did it get named?
I know. Is it named for a fish?
Was
it named for a person?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That would be interesting. That would
her program comes from the research that she's done at the Shiloh Museum. I don't know if you remember Ernie Dean, but he was a longtime journalist in Arkansas. He's since passed, but
okay.
He wrote a book on place names throughout Arkansas, and when he died, his family donated all of his files to the Shiloh Museum.
Wow.
And she said it's just file cabinet after file cabinet.
Wow.
That's a lot of history.
Yeah, it really is.
Fantastic.
We should take the cameras out there.
Yeah, that'd be
and
good.
I think that would be a really good idea.
Be interesting. I like to hear some of those towns, how the names were actually, how they came up with those names. It'd be interesting. It would be interesting for a lot of people, particularly people that maybe if you've lived here for a long time, you've heard different stories, but you didn't get the right story. You know?
We get the little ones on camera. They would love that.
Love that one
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. We got about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, well, let me see. What have I not? 20th Century Club. They are an organization of ladies in our community. They've been around for a very, very long time. They do philanthropic work, volunteer work. They're in charge of Maplewood Cemetery and the Lights of Love. But one thing they do every year is sponsor an art and literature contest, and in the Harrison School District, K through 12. And then they have judges who award first, second, and third place winners. And they display all that in our library every year in March, because March is also Young Artist Month.
Okay.
And there's some really incredible artwork by young people, and it's one of my favorite exhibits that we have, and we really want to make sure everyone knows.
Now is that what period of time?
It's throughout the month of
the
March.
whole month.
It'll come down March 31st.
All right, so you can go by any time.
Right.
Very good.
Is there something in particular that you're wanting the young artists to draw, or just anything?
No, it can be anything they want. And then there's a poetry, short story component of it as well.
Okay.
And my husband's the art teacher at the high school, and he has students work there. And then in May, they have a big award ceremony at the Lyric Theater, and it's really a neat thing to see all the little bitty kids come in with their parents and grandparents on up to high school age.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, last but not least, mention the Friends of the Library, their big book sale.
Yes, Friends of the Library every spring have their big spring book sale. It is always the same week as National Library Week. It's April, do I have a date there? 17th, 18th, and 19th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and 16th through the 18th is when it is.
Okay.
And if you have some nice books you'd like to donate, now would be the time to do it.
Take them now. That's always great.
Yeah.
Those Friends of the Library, they do so much for our library here.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, their time and effort and so forth is just, that's what makes our library here so fantastic for a small town like we are, Harrison. We've got a great library here. A very active library, thanks to people like you, obviously.
Well, and I didn't even mention the children's department, and they do phenomenal things too.
Yeah, you have a children's department, adult, like you're over, and just a lot of things going on down there. We have a good librry, and a lot of people use it. I see people going in there all the time
Some
to
days
use their computers.
Parking
and
lot's
whatever.
full.
Yeah, that's very, very good. Well, we do appreciate you coming in, Ginger. It's always a lot of fun for her to come in because they're always doing something. And I like an active location like that in a community. It's, again, free of charge. If you've never been down there to the library, go down there. You can. If you don't even need anything, just walk around. And like the month of March, you're going to see art down there from all ages, and probably some kids down there entertaining with a little music and so forth. So thank you so much for coming. We need to get together every month. And,
we do.
Give me a call if I forget.
Okay.
And come in and give us an update each month on what's going on.
We have a lot going on in April and May too.
Very good.
Wonderful.
We'll get together soon.
Awesome.
Stay with us. We'll be back on The Connection in a moment. We're going to talk with a young lady about another organization here that's very important to our community on Connection.
Start spinning, twisting, and pumping into a healthy lifestyle 24 hours a day at the Fitness Club. With all of the best equipment and personal trainers, you're ensured a workout that's fun, effective, and motivating. At the Fitness Club, you can enhance your glow, relax your mind, and refresh your body all in one convenient location. So what are you waiting for? Start spinning, twisting, and pumping your way into a new you today. Enhance your lifestyle and reach your goals at the Fitness Club, Highway 6265 North in Harrison.
Okay, I'm in. All right, go.
You work hard to take care of your car, so help clean its engine and extend its life with quality gas from Conoco.
In the Branson area, visit these ConocoPhillips White Oak stations, plus Mule Express, Saddlebrook, and the Spirit Shop.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television, Dennis King, Tabitha Odegaard. Thanks for joining us again today on our show. And our second guest in the studio today is no stranger to anybody around the area. For years and years and years, you saw her as the Booster Club president, which she still is. But now, for the last year, been the director of North Arkansas Regional Medical Centers Foundation, the executive director. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah.
But thanks for being here, Kim.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thanks
it. Boy, you've had a lot of stuff going on. Did you hit the ground running when you got it?
I did. I like to shake things up a little bit when I started.
You've had a lot of stuff going on there.
I know.
Tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
the foundation. Now,
Okay.
some people maybe they don't know exactly how the foundation works with the hospital itself.
Okay. The North Arkansas Medical Foundation, we're a 501c3 and organization, and our sole purpose is to raise money for the hospital.
Okay.
So whether it be equipment or the 4D Varian software, we came in last September for our Claude Parrish 4D software that would cost like $50,000. We raised money for that. We've done the behavioral health garden this last year. We've been working on that. Orthopedic chairs and just lots of vital sign machines. We also, our home health hospice office just recently moved to the basement of the hospice house.
Oh.
And so, which is a perfect place for them. And so they needed like some partitions and even desk. And so First Federal, which is now Bear State Bank, because of their donations, they allowed us to have some of their partitions and desks. So that was great. We kind of do stuff like that. We also have recently our hospital auxiliary. They purchased over $95,000 worth of equipment, things like our Schwinn bikes for the cardiac rehab, vital sign machines. We have wheelchairs. We're always missing wheelchairs, so we have wheelchairs for ER and admissions.
Did they just wheel out?
They just keep on going, I guess. And so, we just have lots of, and in this nenext year, they've pledged over $186,000. For nuclear medicine. So,
wow.
Our goal at NARMC is to provide the best possible facilities, equipment, and physicians that we could possibly do. And so we want people to feel comfortable knowing that we're trying to get the very best that we possibly can for them.
Boy, they've donated a lot of money.
You guys do a great job.
You think about all the different things that they need, and out of the general revenue, they just don't have the money to do it.
Right.
I've got to tell you, the group that has always amazed me, and I've known some of those ladies ever since I moved back here, even before we started the TV station, is the Pink Ladies.
Oh, they're awesome.
They are unbelievable,
Awesome.
and those they put in hundreds of hours to help out.
Yes.
You think about the labor cost that they save of all those volunteers up there.
Oh yeah, they're over at least 200 strong. There's a ton of them.
Wow.
And they have, when you first come in, they're the first people that you see. They have coffee and cookies, and they always want to make you feel comfortable and knowing that you feel at ease when you're coming there. And they just are wonderful. And they, where they get a lot of their money too is the thrift shop, which is right next to Shelby's.
Yeah.
And also they do the Nightingale's gift shop.
Right.
So they just do a lot of different things throughout the year, and so they're very proud of what they do, and they are an amazing organization.
And raise a lot of money.
And would raise a ton of money.
They sure
yes,
do.
We should have them on.
Yeah.
Yes, they're awesome.
I've had them on before. They're a hoot. They're great.
Tucky is. She's the Bob Johnson's going to be the new president, but she's the president. She's pretty funny. Yeah.
So, what are some of the projects you're working on now? I know you've got some things right on the horizon here.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, I started April 1st of last year, so I'll be a year which is hard to believe. I've been there almost a year. And so in the last 7 months, for 7 months, I've been working on hoops and home runs. So that's a big undertaking.
Yes.
So we're working on that. That's one of the things in hopes to bring our EMS garage closer to our campus. AirEvac is coming up soon. We've signed a contract with them. And so we're hoping to, when you're going up where we're going to place it is when you're going up the parking lot up to the hospital, right next to, it used to be Mountain Crest. That's where we're going to put our EMS heliport and hangar and living quarters.
So they'll move from where they are, which is way
Correct.
out north, down
Yes.
here, which will be
Yes.
right by the hospital.
Right, and so we're doing a partnership with AirEvac, so we're very excited about that. So those are two things. We've got a gala coming up, in April to raise money for EMS. We've got our golf tournament, and then the other thing we're going to try to do this year is really get our planned giving program off the ground stuff. So,
well, let's get into
Go into details.
Yeah,
about
get into a
some
little
of that.
details on. Well, first of all, before we get off the hoops and home runs, everybody that lives in the area knows
Right.
where the old
Yeah.
motel, and
Right.
of course it looks terrible now. They
Yes.
knocked it down; it's just a
Yes.
pile of rubble.
Yes.
So that will all be cleaned up. The city, at their last council meeting, agreed to close that little street that's
Right.
actually to the south of it there.
Correct.
Okay. So that they'll clean all that up, and that will be the living quarters for your EMS. It'll also right above it will be our EVAC in that area up in there. Or is that going to be open north? I mean,
AirEvac's going to be up to the hospital.
it'll be by the hospital.
But
Okay.
yeah, we tried to talk to AirEvac about being down there with us, but because of it's about 50 feet lower in elevation.
Okay, they need.
And so because of the KHOZ tower and stuff, that's not really good enough
Right.
for them to
The
come
flight
in.
plan.
Right.
Okay.
And so, but we've worked with them. I met with Phil Wilson, just to tell you a little bit of history of it. I met with Phil Wilson in September and talked to him about it because, it's been that way for a long time. And so I asked him if he would consider donating the property to the hospital, and he was very excited about it. He teaches first aid at the college. He also was a first responder in Branson, so it was kind of personal to him. And so he was very excited about doing that. And so we were just getting things rolling in September, and we had done an asbestos test on it, and it had no asbestos in it. And then they had the fire. The fire was around October, and then that kind of changed everything because now they were going to come in and take things apart and do a little slower. Now it's all just burnt rubble. And so it's a lot more complicated now. And so we've just had to do a lot of things to get prepared. We've got there were several liens on the property. All the liens had been cleared. The taxes had been paid, so everything is ready to go. We thought we were done, and then we realized there was a road behind Wolf Street, like you said. And the current motel, or Hoops and Home Runs, was actually built on the street. So for 60 years, it sat on that street, and we thought, I would have thought kind of, it might would have just been like grandfathered in, but it wasn't.
Okay.
So in order for us to build back there, the road had to be abandoned.
Sure.
So we're doing that. We're getting all the environmental, everything kind of taken care of, and just a lot of little details.
What's your time frame, hopefully, down the road to maybe start construction there, or do you have a time frame?
We currently are in a location that our lease ends November the 31st.
Okay.
So we have to have it built and in by November 31st. Okay. So we're hoping within the next week or so we can close and kind of get everything squared away. We're just working really hard. I know people think, oh my gosh, you're just dragging it out, but there's just a lot to have to do.
Now, is the foundation going to be the financing entity for that?
Actually,
is the hospital going to be?
No, it will be the land will be donated to the foundation.
Okay.
So the foundation we'll have that, but we're going to try to do a fundraising campaign like we did the stadium, but it was over 10 years. We're going to do it over 5, so people can give over 1 to 5 years, and so we're trying to work on financing
for
with
the building of the facility itself. I got you.
And so like that. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up, and it just takes a lot of.
Yeah.
And I know I don't want people to get frustrated with us, but we're really trying to, this is as much as a community project as it is for the hospital.
Sure.
Because that was one of the things why we really wanted to do it, is we wanted to kind of clean up down there.
Yeah.
And we thought that would be something that would be great for the community.
That'll be a major eyesore removed.
Oh,
down
yeah.
there,
And it's going to be nice. And you were asking me about, it's going to be a 10-door garage. We currently have 13 ambulances. When we started, we had the little bay back behind the hospital. And so we'll have a living quarters, about 4,000 square feet of living quarters, and then we'll have a 10-bay garage. And then it'll have a whole maintenance area as well that has a lift and everything to work on the ambulances.
Very good.
Let's talk about the gala coming up in April.
That is April 18th, and we're very excited about that. We're going to do, it's called the Golden Ticket Gala. And we're kind of taking it theme after last year at our donor banquet. It was a golden kind of theme, same kind of deal. But this year, it was taken after the Polar Express. Okay. And this is going to be kind of taken after Willy Wonka. So it's all chocolate themed event. So it's just going to be a really fun night. We've got. We're going to have, we're working with Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory out of Branson. They're landing. We're doing everyone. We're going to have these. This is cute. Everyone's going to get a chocolate bar. Has our little logo on it. And there's going to be a golden ticket in one of them. And the winner of that's going to win a 10-pound chocolate bar. So it's like really big.
Oh, wow.
And so it's going to be, the whole night is going to be, it's our kickoff for raising money for EMS.
Okay.
It's going to be at Quality Inn. Okay. It'll start at 6 o'clock. So we wanted to do something that was in town. That last year we did it at Big Cedar, but we really wanted to kind of stay in town.
It's nice so we could have,
and we've got, it's limited to 250 people. The tickets are $100 a piece. Okay. We're going to have silent auction, over 50 silent auction items, a live auction. We're going to have 2 fudge mountains. One's going to be a fudge mountain that's going to have, it's going to have ambulances go all around the mountain and the very top of the EMS. And then we're going to have the Willy Wonka, we're going to have, our Oreo cookies or chocolate dip, and they're going to look like aspirins. We've got thermometers, pretzels that look like thermometers. So everything's geared toward EMS.
Okay.
And so we're going to have some of our silent auction items on little gurneys. And so it's just a really fun night. We're going to have a photo booth there. We have several sponsorships that we're doing. Centurion Financial Services is sponsoring our photo booth, so we're going to have that. We're going to have music, a DJ.
Is it a casual dress?
It's business casual.
Business casual, okay.
Yeah. Right. So it should just be a really fun night, and we just want people to come out and.
Okay, so tickets right now are on sale.
They'll be $100. We haven't sent out the invitations yet. We did send out the save the date.
I got a card.
Yeah, we sent out the save the date, and we're going to send those out within the week.
Okay, so people.
Yes, or they can call me at 414-4549.
Okay.
Or they can email me at kim.rosson, ROSSON, at narmc.com, and we'll be sure and get tickets.
If they don't get a
There's going to be 2 separate meals. There's the beef tenderloin and there'll be chicken, so they'll get to choose.
Okay.
And of course, the dessert's going to be all the chocolate stuff. So, so it'll be fun.
Sounds like a chocolatey event.
I know.
Sounds good to me.
It'll be fun.
Okay, so that's coming up April the 18th, 6 p.m. That's the big event, and it's very important because this is for EMS. And it's a big fundraiser for the foundations. Don't forget that. Got just a minute or so left. Let's talk about, when's the golf tournament this year?
Golf tournament is June the 1st. It's on Monday. It's going to be a 3-man scramble again. So we're very excited about that. But this year, what we're going to do is everything we're doing this year is we're raising money for EMS. So the golf tournament is going to be, we're going to be raising money for the traffic lights. We have 2 traffic lights that are going to go on each side, right now, I believe on each side of the hoops and home runs.
Okay.
So that like the dispatcher, when they get a call in, you push a button and the lights come on and it turns red and stops traffic.
Good.
So that's a $50,000. So right now we're going to have a red light special, a green light special, a yellow, sponsorship. So it's all going to be geared toward the lights, traffic lights. So we're going to, everything's going to be geared around that. But it's June 1st, and we'll be sending out information pretty soon. As soon as I get the gala squared away.
Let's get back together because that's down the road a little
bit,
and then you can kind of give us an update. Maybe come in next month
in
sometime April,
great.
And then we'll give them an update on what's going on.
Yeah, because that'll be our kickoff for our annual fund drive, and we can tell more people about what's going on and what sponsorships are about. Or, we'll take we're going to do something for everybody.
I told you, you can't hardly get Kim to talk.
Well, they've got so much going on. People ain't have time.
Kim, thank you.
And she's talking really fast to get it all in.
I'm trying to get it all in.
If we run out of time, she's talking so fast. Thanks, Kim.
Thank
we
you
appreciate
so
you coming in, and we'll get you back in April, and we'll bring them up to speed on everything.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on Connection here today. We hope we brought some information to you that you didn't know about. We appreciate the organizations coming in to be with us. Hope you have a good week. We'll see you all again next week.